Hi, I'm Ayya Yeshe. It's a great honor to be speaking at the BGR annual fundraising event. I'm the director of Bodhicitta Foundation. Our girls' home directly receives support from BGR. It supports our girls' home, and there are 30 girls from remote areas of India who are struggling to get an education. Some of the girls in our girls' home were crushing rocks on the side of the road, or sold by their parents for money, or in brothels, or victims of human trafficking. Some of them are just from really poor families. The caste system is still a really big factor in limiting people's upward mobility, and it makes people face discrimination. Patriarchy is still a very big reality in many parts of the world, including developed countries, and that is no exception in India. Sometimes girls are referred to as a thief at the table because they will take the family's resources to another family that they marry into. Therefore, if a family can only support one member, they'll support the member of the family who will stay in the family, which is usually the son. And sometimes this is just a survival strategy. It's not that they don't love their daughters. I decided to start a charity when I was in Bodh Gaya, and I saw where the Buddha got enlightened, and I saw the tremendous difference between the rich and the poor. There were these marble-lined, air-conditioned retreat centers with a big 6-foot high barbed wire fence and a man with a gun out the front. And then there's the way the local Indians are living, the descendants of the Buddha, which is in terrible poverty. There is one girl married every 7 seconds. And child marriage prevents a girl from reaching her human potential, developing her own identity, and it perpetuates a cycle of poverty, because if a girl in a developing country doesn't have a proper education, she's always going to be doing jobs that are dangerous, that don't respect her capacity, and she's going to find it hard to pay for the costs of the family. So even in terms of caring for the planet, educating a girl is one of the things we can do to break the cycle of poverty. A girl who is educated boosts the economy. She increased the leadership of women. An educated mother is 2 times more likely to send her kids to school, and those child are 50% more likely to survive until they're 5. These women will marry later and they'll have less children, and girls with 8 years of school are 4 times less likely to be married young. And every year a girl spends in school can increase her chance to earn more money and have a more dignified life. The consequences of child marriage are, that a girl's freedom is curtailed, as is her development. She's isolated. She's not physically or emotionally ready for the responsibility of becoming a mother or to be someone's partner. She's vulnerable to HIV, and it affects her mental health. And, in the developing world outside China, 1 in 3 women who are below 30 was married before 18. That's 39,000 a day. 71% of human trafficking victims are female, and 64 million girls are forced into child labor. 23 girls below 18 are married every minute, and 650 women alive today were married below 18. So if you want to address poverty, you have to understand that oppression is gendered, poverty is gendered, or gender is a factor. Not to say that there are a lot of men who also don't deserve help, and boys, but oppression and poverty is directly tied to gender. So that's why we have 4 schools in different slum areas, as well as a girls' home. That's why we sponsor 55 children per school, predominantly females. That's why we have a women's job training center, because if you educate women, they if you train women in jobs, they put 90% of their wages into their family, medicine, and education. If you give a man in a developing country, this was based on surveying thousands of people from the book Half the Sky. If you give a man a wage increase, only 60% of his wage goes into the family. So giving women jobs, especially jobs that they can do while they mind their children, is really important for agency, for reducing poverty, for empowering women, all of these things, education, giving women a voice, giving women human rights, reducing population, giving people who are alive a better life. It's all connected, and it makes life better for everyone. Also, we have counseling, and we offer a temporary ordination. We offer retreats because life in poor slums is stressful, and people appreciate being able to find some peace and have some skills to deal with conflict, because conflict inevitably arises. The people we work with were previously known as untouchables, and converted to Buddhism in the 50s to escape the Hindu caste system that had oppressed them. And now the term for those people is Dalit, or people of scheduled caste. They're some of the most poor and oppressed Buddhists in the world, but they're extremely optimistic and ready to, advocate for their human rights and work hard to become liberated from poverty. And their life is slowly improving. I'm very concerned about what will happen to India as the planet warms. But this is a thing we don't necessarily have answers for. So but the work of Buddhist Global Relief is changing lives in India. It's literally saving the lives of children. We make 7,000 meals per year for undernourished kids. And there's a lot of other small things we do, like human rights awareness, educating women about their legal rights, and so forth. But this is the work that you have made possible. So thank you for changing lives and making a difference.